Welcome, everyone, to the Let Purple Rain podcast. Please like and subscribe. This is the Diary of a Draftman, chasing the Natty mock draft number 9. I am your host, Joe Arpasi, otherwise known as Purple Rain. I started my CFF work in 2008. After stepping away for 8 years, I returned in 2024 as Purple Rain. You can follow me on X at the handle that you see on the screen, and you can find all of my content over at letpurplerain.com. I also want to say, of the content that I have, you can find my 2025 CFF Draft Guide. It is the biggest draft guide I've ever done, going back to my start in CFF in 2008. There are 76 pages of CFF info. It includes my keys to fantasy success, coaching systems and scheduling information, player spotlights, player rankings for FBS, Power 4, and G5. I also include Underdog Fantasy and the Scott Fish Tadpole Bowl, which is now kind of over with, but it is still in there for you guys. I have draft analysis breakdowns for every type of player ranking that I provide you guys. I have over 970 player projections. I give you guys Fantrax player ranking upload files. So tonight's draft is an all FBS draft. You can take my Fantrax player ranking upload file for all FBS and upload it directly into your Fantrax league, and it'll have everything in there for you, ready to go. It makes it a must-have draft guide for 2025. And today's show, this is, as I said, the Diary of a Draftman mock draft series. In these episodes, I will be conducting live mock drafts. I'm giving you an immersive experience into my mind as I draft my fantasy football teams. YouTube will be the home of the preview show, where I'm going to cover the first 5 rounds as the draft unfolds. LetPurpleRain.com will be the exclusive home of the main show. That's where I'm going to cover rounds 6 through 30 to complete this draft. As the draft ensues, I will be explaining my thought process as I draft my team. You'll also see my player queue as I provide my insights on who I'm looking at and thinking about drafting. And on today's show, what I'm doing for a draft strategy, I'm using my full FBS half PPR draft strategy, but I'm going to do a twist here. I like to do something a little different each time, try and give you guys a little different take, ways that you can kind of use this. And I'm breaking a bit from how I do my FBS, full FBS draft strategy. But what I'm going to be doing is a quarterback early strategy here. My goal is to draft a top 4 quarterback, then draft my second quarterback by round 10 at the latest. I'm going to be honest, I'll probably draft him before that. But I wanted to give myself some flexibility if I decided that I wanted to wait, just in case like a QB run starts late. I wanted to give myself a little flexibility there. But don't be surprised if I draft my second quarterback today by round 8. I'll then be reacting in how I draft my running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends around this QB early approach. I thought this would be a good change of draft strategy because I normally like to wait on quarterback. So this is going to give you guys an opportunity to see something I normally don't like to do. And for some of you guys that want to get those big name quarterbacks, I'll give you a little exposure to kind of how I would do it. And then as the rest of this draft plays out, you can turn into the main show and kind of see how, how I make it all work by round 30. Now that that's over, let's dive into some college fantasy football here. One thing I'm going to kind of point out, a couple things I'm going to point out for you guys. Number one, I was out on the lake all day. I've had plenty of golden treats, Steve Weisers today. I'm still going to have them on the show here. So, cheers to all of you guys that love to watch. But I literally came, I docked the boat, put it in the slip, came right up here and started recording. I'm still wearing exactly what I wore out on the lake. I haven't changed my clothes at all. My hair's still wet, all of that. We're just going to grip it and rip it and have a good time today. One thing, if you're looking down where I have my queue and the little window below me, I have not preloaded everyone in yet. So I'm kind of just adjusting and adapting to that on the fly. Because like I said, I literally came straight from the lake, off the boat, and to doing this. So bear with me while we're waiting for this draft to get started. I think we got about 6 minutes here before the draft's going to get going, before Jerry gets everything going here. And for those of you that are new to my channel, new to the Diary of a Draftman series, like I said, I've given you an immersive experience into my mind as I'm drafting. So One part of it is I like to drink beer every time I draft. So I'm going to have these adult beverages, these golden treats, these Steve Weisers. Um, I'm going to be having them throughout the draft. Once we get to the main show over on letpurplerain.com, I like to play music. I like to rock out while I draft. And so I'll have music playing in the background as well. I can't do that here on YouTube, guys, because I'm going to get copyright strikes, and it's just not going to be a good setup for me. So you guys have to put up with just me talking and no music while YouTube's going on. But once we switch over to the main show, you're going to get the full immersive experience of literally everything that's going in my headphones, my mind, and then you're going to hear me. I like to say it. I like to use this analogy. Excuse me. I like to say thinking out loud. That's the way I like to do the show. I'm going to think out loud. I'm going to tell you guys exactly kind of where I'm leaning, what I'm looking at doing, and while I continue to click these players into my queue, and I'm glad you guys are being patient while I'm dealing with this here. Um, and for all of you guys to give you an idea of what goes on in the back end, Jared sets up the league on Sundays. I was able to load my player rankings into this earlier in the day before I went out on the boat, but I just forgot to preload all the players in my queue. This is something that I like to do for you guys because looking into my queue window, it does make it easier to see kind of the guys that I'm looking at. But one thing that I like to do, and this is just a little, everybody has their own way to manage a draft as it's going on. But as a draft goes on and as you start to get your main players, you'll realize that there's certain bye weeks that you have to avoid, that you need to stay away from. And I'm going to pause right here. If you look in the screen underneath me, there we go, right about where my finger is pointing, you can see the bye weeks right now. So when I have the player windows up, you can see the bye weeks. I will go through and I'll realize like, okay, shoot, I can't have another running back with a week 9 bye. So I'll go through my queue. I'll go through this same screen right here, the player screen, and I'll just unselect players from my rankings that that have that bye for that position. So for me during a draft, it becomes kind of an easier way to manage this where if you have everyone preloaded like right now because I'm in the all players, they're in the order of the Fantrax upload file that I give you guys. But I just like to preload them all in the queue because it's easier for you guys to see queue wise um, what I'm thinking. Like this screen, you guys can only see about 3 players at a time. Um, when I'm in the queue window, you can see way more. So that's one reason why I like to just put everyone in order in my queue, just because it makes it a lot easier for you guys to watch. We got about 3 more minutes to go here, and this is going to be the second to last Diary of a Draft Man for the season. We're getting very close to the regular season. This is going to be the last one that I'm doing with Jared from Jared Palmgren from Chasing the Natty podcast. Any of you guys that are new to CFF, new to my site, and you're just kind of stumbling upon where to get advice for college fantasy football, Jared Palmgren at Chasing the Natty. You can search X. You can search YouTube. You'll find Chasing the Natty. You can search Apple Podcast and Spotify for it. It's very easy to find. I'm going to highly recommend. Follow him. He does great work, guys. He's part of the campus2canton.com team. That's another great site for any of you guys that really like NFL fantasy football and you're just starting to dip your toes into college. They'll cover college and they'll be able to help you out with a pure college league, but they're also going to sit there and be able to give you guys advice on how will these college guys apply to the pros. How will this help you with your NFL leagues as well? And the biggest thing that Campus to Canton does is that they will do leagues where like you're running a college league and then all the guys that are on your team that go pro move up to your pro roster. So it's kind of like playing 2 types of fantasy football at the same time. once again, I want to talk to all of you guys that are brand new in college fantasy football. I got a lot of people that watch, that listen, that read to my content. You guys are already into it, but I like to say all the time, we want everybody in this community because we know how awesome college fantasy football is. So that's why I want to talk to any of you guys that are brand new to this, and this is the first time that you're really kind of dipping into this before the season. Like, uh, obviously, I'm going to recommend my work, but I'm going to recommend a bunch of other people that are also in the college fantasy football space. So, Jared Palmgren, Chasing the Natty, and Campus to Canton. The draft's getting started here, guys. Um, while I'm still clicking people, what I'm going to say here is I'm in the number 6 spot. I know that I want to draft a top 4 quarterback, so my goal is that I'm going to wait until round 2, and I'm probably going to take my guy there, just whoever the best quarterback is in round 2, because I'm drafting in the middle. But for this first pick, I'm basically locked into running back. Running backs go super early. And oh wow, Cade Klubnik, number 2. That does not help my strategy right now. Because really what I'm looking at is probably at this point Sellers and Manning. I have Horvath ranked higher, but I want to avoid him, guys, because he's someone that I know you can wait on a little bit. And I want to try and emulate what some of you guys might do if you're trying to chase after the big names. So I am going to kind of sit here and be like, okay, I'm up. Let me finish clicking these last couple guys. And I'm going to go to my queue, and I want to look at these quarterbacks because, really, Manning and Sellers are the only two. And I said I'm going to do QB early, so we're just going to take Lenore Sellers here, guys, because I don't know if he's going to work his way all the way back, okay? And if he doesn't, then we're praying that Manning does. If all three, if Klubnik, Sellers, and Manning are gone by the second round, I'm forced to take Horvath. I don't want to do this for this early QB approach. So I'm taking this, as a different way to handle things. So even though I was saying I felt like I was pretty locked into quarterback, as soon as Klubnik went off in the second, for this early approach, I think you're going to be really rolling the dice. Now, maybe Manning does last all the way back to my second round pick. But with this approach, you want to lock down one of the best guys. And I think there's a huge drop off after Klubnik and Sellers. So that's why right now, for this strategy, I'm going to grab Sellers here. What I know that's going to do, this is one reason why I like to wait on quarterback. And this is why I wanted to do this one so people can see how it plays out. We have to take a running back after this. And it doesn't even matter who is in my queue. We have to take the best running back. I like to be a little later, like what we're seeing right now in the draft. I like to be a little bit later where I have that option where maybe I take a wide receiver before I take my first running back. And there's some of these names, I'm just going to flip over to wide receiver just so I can kind of talk it out and you guys can see it here. But for me, I'm going to say these top 4 wide receivers that you see on the screen: Ryan Williams, Eric McAllister, Messer, and Coleman. If one of those guys are there a lot of times, I'll reach and take them if I'm in this back part of the draft, like the number 8 through 12 spots. So Lepo took Messer here. That's an approach I would do, is I would take Messer to get the wide receiver I really wanted, because there's not that many running backs that'll fall off the board before it comes back to me. And I know I'll still get a running back that I like. But where we're drafting at, we're in the middle of the draft, dead middle of the draft, and someone took Klubnik super early. So that's forcing our hand with this draft strategy where you want to get a top end guy. And I cannot sit here and tell you that Sellers would be available in the 7th pick of the second round. So here we are. We're adjusting on the fly. I'm going to have a little bit of my Steve Weisers while we're waiting on some of these picks to roll through. But as I'm looking at this, and this is a tough one, thinking out things moving forward, I know I'm locked into running back in the second round. That third round, I think, is going to be difficult. If there's a wide receiver that I want to just jump on that I feel like has a safe floor, I might grab them in round 3. If I'm not sure about that, and if I feel like, I don't know, maybe I can wait a little bit. All the safe floor guys are gone. Um, I might go running back, and then wide receiver in the fourth. So the 3 and 4 round spots are going to be really flexible. We're coming up here, so we got 2 people in front of us. Nick Singleton's a really safe pick. I want to shoot for upside at running back here. Actually, and I'm going to say this, since we're reaching at quarterback, I'm going to make more safe floor plays versus shooting for ceiling plays. So when we look at this queue, Donaldson is a ceiling play. Smothers is a ceiling play. White is a ceiling play. Wisner is a ceiling play. Gaines is a ceiling play. Bullock is the next best, I think, floor guy. So we're going to go ahead and take Singleton here and just get safe floor players in these next couple of rounds, because we know we're going to be reaching at quarterback and we're going to be missing out on some other people at running back and wide receiver because of that. So I'm going to be I'm going to be taking this approach as we go through these first 5 rounds here. Another thing I want to throw out there for everyone watching, um, this is coming out here on Monday, and this draft is taking place on Sunday night. The player rankings that you see in my queue, that you're going to be seeing all night, this is the most updated version from my CFF draft guide, which was updated on 8/7. I am going to put out one more update sometime this week. I'm guessing Tuesday or Wednesday. Don't hold my feet to the fire. I just kind of, between real life things happening and the things I'm juggling for the website, I don't know the exact day, but I can say at the very latest Thursday, I will put out an updated player rankings and projections again, because we're having a lot of news that's going on. And at letpurplerain.com, that's really what my content's focused around. Here we're doing, another mock draft, but I'm covering news. And that's my big thing right now. So, I'm going to put out at least one more update for you guys during week 0 here. Because as soon as the clock turns and we're in week 1, I'm in season mode and everything changes. I'm doing my regular in season articles for you guys. The only exception to that is I'm not doing a waiver wire article in week 1. You need to wait until week 2 to get that. So we got 5 picks before us. Excuse me. Looking at some of these players, once again, I want to be safe. So I like Kendrell Bullock from Southern Alabama. Caden Durham, I really like him. LJ Martin, Coleman, and Carson here from Air Force. I think those are going to be the main guys I'm going to focus on if I want to stay at running back. Let's go peek over at wide receiver, and I'm going to keep I'm going to keep this in the queue for right now, just because, like I said, I want to see how this develops. Like, if Coleman slides all the way to us, I feel like we have to take him. If Coleman does not slide to us, everyone else that I have below him, I feel like we can wait until round 4. So right now, this is the strategy I'm going to take here. Coleman's one of those top-notch guys. I feel like, if they're there, I got to take him. As soon as Coleman goes off the board, we're locked into running back at this point. So we are kind of in a wait and see. A little bit earlier, guys, I mentioned this is going to be the second to last Diary of a Draftman episode that I do. This Monday here that you're watching the episode when it comes out, this is the last one of kind of a normal full FBS, like a best ball style. And then the following Monday, week from now, I am going to be doing a very special Diary of a Draftman. The entire draft is going to be for free. None of it is going to be behind a paywall on letpurplerain.com. None of it's going to be on YouTube, guys. So any of you that are only subscribed to YouTube and you do not go to my site, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to post the very last Diary of a Draftman only on my website. Since I'm putting it out for free, we're going to rock out to the music the entire time. I am not going to play around with not being able to play the music here, but I'm going to be doing Diary of a Draftman to my home league. a league that I started in 2010. I'm the commissioner of it. We're one pick away, and Coleman went, so we're on to running back. I'll circle back to that league here. And so here we are. As we're looking at this, Bullock is a guy I feel like we can wait on because of his ADP. And so when I'm looking at these safe guys, I've not taken any John Coleman. I'll take him here. Um, Even though I have LJ Martin ranked higher, they're all in the same tier. And like I said, I want to play really safe right now. So we know that we're locked into wide receiver because we need somebody at wide receiver. I'm not going to say we're 100% locked into wide receiver at this point, but I feel like we're probably going to need to lean that way. And actually, I'm going to say this. I'm going to leave running backs up because I feel like this is the well that'll dry quicker. So we know that Kendrell Bullock is another safe guy. We have two safe ones, but I'm going to keep early on. I'm going to want to take safe floor play approaches here versus ceiling guys. So Bullock and LJ Martin, Carson, Wayman Jordan from USC, Emmett Johnson. These are all guys that like I would probably lean. Oh, and Shea Bangora. These are all guys I'd probably lean toward if I want to go three running backs in a row. And the one approach that we've seen, wide receivers are starting to go pretty hard right now too. But one approach that, and one of the things that we've seen all year, if there's like once again, if you guys are new to CFF, running backs go really, really, really early, and that's one reason why I normally like to wait on quarterback. But we're taking a different approach here, um, and I'm actually going to say this, guys, because okay, Manning was taken. Manning was taken in the that 2-4 spot. So I'm not going to look at quarterback yet. I'm going to go back to running back. Um, and actually, while this wide receiver run is going, I'm going to kind of keep my eye on this. Guys like Cameron, Amador, Vandeross, Rucker, Hurst. There's not a lot of them. There's less wide receivers right now that I feel like are safe floor guys. So right now I'm leaning toward we're probably going to go wide receiver here and just see what running backs slip in the fifth. But I'm going to circle back to what I was talking about. The very last Diary of a Draftman episode. This is going to come out a week from today when this airs. It's going to be my home league. And it's a very unique sort of a league and a setup. It's a keeper league. So teams will have anywhere from 2 to 4 keepers. I'm not going to go into why it will vary, but they'll have keepers, and every keeper has a specific draft pick value. They're pre-populated in the board as it goes on. This is also a league where we allow people to trade future draft picks. I had a team where I realized I probably wasn't going to make the playoffs last year, and so I sold my good assets and I acquired a bunch of future draft picks. So I'm kind of loaded up early in this draft. We do 24 rounds in my league. That's our roster size. Um, but because of all the extra, and I also want to say this, you cannot draft more than 24 players. So if you pick up extra draft picks, you cannot have more than 24 players because 24 players is the maximum you can have on your roster. So what it means is if you acquire extra draft picks, you have to get rid of other draft picks so you balance out to 24. Because of the way that that happens and plays out, my draft will be over after round 14. I will have made all my draft picks by round 14. And that's another reason, too, why I'm like, I'm going to throw this one out there for free for you guys. Just let you see what my home league is like. And it is on me right now. So I'm going to dial in here. Cameron's one of those guys I feel like we can wait. Amador is probably the best wide receiver to take right here. I'm going to flip over to running back just so we can double check this here. Bullock's still there. Bullock's a guy I think we could wait. LJ Martin may or may not slide to us, and Carson may or may not slide to us. I'm just going to take Amador here. Just also, if we're going quarterback early, I want to try and stay a little balanced, even though I do believe in running back early approach. But right now, we're not bad. One quarterback, 2 running backs, and 1 wide receiver. So what I was saying about my home league, though, there's also a lot of big, names in the CFF community that are in this league. John Lobb plays in this league. Bacon Fueled, Elliot Mays plays in this league. Tom Harvey plays in this league. Some of you guys have been around for a while and that are on that do some of these mock drafts or on X. You've probably seen the name Rebel Nut out there. He, myself, and one other person are the only remaining founding members from 2010 that are still active in this league. Props for my buddy Rebel Nut hanging in there in this league. Longtime friend. I've been playing fantasy football with Rebel Nut going into the early 2000s. Just this particular league was started up in 2010 by myself, but I think it's gonna be a fun one for you guys. I'm just gonna throw it out for free for everyone. So I'm gonna stop talking about that. We're shifting over to the very last pick here. That's gonna be on the preview show, and once again, wide receivers are starting to go. So I do think it was a good idea that we grabbed Amador. Bullock is still sitting there, and if Bullock's available, I'm just gonna take him and not even think about it. L.J. Martin, same thing. Carson, exact same thing. And really, Carson, LJ Martin, and Bullock. If those three guys are gone, then I think I might just still dip into fantasy upside. Like I love Smothers, okay? But let's go peek back at wide receiver here. Vander Ross is a great floor guy. I might take Vander Ross over a guy like Smothers right now because I'm taking more of a safe approach because we're reaching for quarterbacks. I think Smothers is the only one I might do that for, to be honest with you guys. But looking over at quarterback, I'm going to say this though, but like we can double tap and get Owen McCowan, which will give us a stack with Amador. Right now, I'm leaning that, guys. Because I did say, drafting two quarterbacks early, I don't have to wait till round 8 or 10 to get that second quarterback. I want you guys to see what it's like to spend early capital on quarterbacks. And right now, and Owen McCowan's a guy, he may not last back to the 6th round here. So right now, I'm leaning toward that. If McCowan, because we only have 2 picks in front of us, McCowan's my top pick. And I think one of those running backs will still be there if McCowan's gone. Yep, quarterbacks are going here, so it's up to Carp, and Carp passed on. So we're going to take Owen. There we go. So we got our 5 picks here. We grabbed 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, and a wide receiver. And that rounds out really where we're going here for this early part of the draft. I want to thank you for watching the Diary of a Draftman, Chasing the Natty mock draft number 9 preview show here on the Let Purple Rain podcast. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Head over to letpurplerain.com to watch the rest of this draft. Link is in the description below. If you've enjoyed this video, check out the rest of my mock drafts. You're going to find a link at the end of this video as well. Thank you for joining the Let Purple Rain podcast. Your CFF reign starts here.